that case, then we'll keep it moving, and then we're gonna go to a bantamweight kickboxing fight. And here we see champion Jonathan Haggerty, who is 8-3-0 in the One Championship. Last time out, of course, losing to Super League, but of course was in a Muay Thai bout. And he was on a 6-fight winning streak before that. He's coming up against Wei Rui, who is a former K1 kickboxing champion. Currently riding a 25 win streak. Record in one is 1-0. Last time out, beating former champion Hiroki Akimoto by unanimous decision. So yeah, I mean, for me personally, I know Jonathan Haggerty, but I did do some research into this Wei Rui guy, and I think this is something worth sharing because his overall record is 70-3.
Yeah, that's what Haggerty also said.
And you're just gonna see a sea of green there.
Yeah, he just wins the whole time. Oh, Rui, bro.
Yes, it's insane. So yeah, I thought that was just a nice point to make to kind of highlight the caliber of opponent that Jonathan Haggerty is coming up here, especially for people who like myself don't really know too much about Wei Rui. Yeah. So that was quite impressive for me to see. But BG, from your end, bro, how's this one going to play out?
Yeah, dude. Even Jonathan Haggerty said it himself. If you can go watch that fight, you can watch the pre-fight interview he had with Nick Atkins on his YouTube page, where Jonathan Haggerty talks about Wei Rui, and he says, "Listen, if you guys don't really know, he actually make mention to that record himself, AD, and he says like this dude is literally legendary status. This is not a play kind of fight just because he had one fight in the One Championship. This dude has been beating people, and at good fashion, by the way. And if you go watch the fight against Akimoto was the former champion. He made Akimoto look like he's a piece of cake. He's like, this kid had nothing. And you must remember, Wei Rui, I'm not mistaken, he's over 33 years old. So he's not like, you know what I mean? It's not like this is like a new thing to him, or he's still young, or he's still old. This guy's still pretty much in a very prime state right now. 33 is like, he's solid at this age. So I think it's going to be a very good test for Jonathan, also because he's fighting out of a southpaw stance, and he's very tricky out of that southpaw stance. He's got a very good check on him, people that try and low kick him. And the way he throws his left kick is almost like the way the Muay Thai fighters throw it. It's powerful, very powerful, and it's very creative with it. He can go very high, hit the body with it. He's got a nice straight left. Really good boxing defense is what I talk about. The Thai fighters don't really have that. While he's got it down to a T. Really good boxing defense. I'm really keen to see how Haggerty pieces or sort of figures out the puzzle over here, because I don't think it's going to be that easy for him. Normally I always go, Haggerty's going to be the one. He's going to win. Obviously, he lost against Super League. And he didn't get to really showcase what he learned in that camp. And he says that this one he's going to obviously try and showcase as most he can. But I think he's going up against another formidable opponent. And I think I wouldn't be surprised if we see a new in this one, to be honest with you. Just because I think that Wei Rui can game plan against almost anybody. And Jonathan Haggerty's best attribute is that he can go at a pace where he's constantly moving and he's throwing all sorts of things at you, tips very, very often. I think he might come up against someone that's a bit bigger than him. Wei Rui is slightly fuller than him, a little bit more powerful, and he's so much more composed in the way he strikes. He's not going to try and rush you down. He's going to be very methodical in the way he strikes. Haggerty might come up short against someone like that. Because you know what I mean? Haggerty's usually the guy that loves the fire on fire kind of fight, dog against dog kind of fight. But someone that's more methodical is the guys who can beat him, beat him with strategically taking him down. Wei Rui can also do that. And I'm gonna stick with it. I'm gonna say we might see a new year.
PG making the big calls, Graham. I mean, look at all this man's belts, man.
And it's kickboxing, not Muay Thai. It's not small ounce gloves, It's big gloves, and this is what Wei Rui loves. This is his thing.
Yeah, I mean, look at this man. He's a champion. No, look at this one. Now he's not a champion. But anyway, Babu, I think Jonathan Haggerty can do anything to beat this seemingly invincible golden man.
Yeah, I believe in Haggerty. I think Haggerty has the power. I think he has the power to stun you, and then the power to also put your lights out. One of the performances that stands out with Jonathan Haggerty is the Nang O fight, and I've seen Nang O fight a couple of times, and he looks like one of the most durable fighters. And Haggerty was able to put him out and turn the lights off. So that is something that stands out to me, that Jonathan Haggerty does carry that much power. On the other side, I've never heard of somebody riding a 20-fight win streak in my life, bro. I don't even.
In boxing,
I never
yeah.
knew that was. I've never known this to be possible, bro. This is like Floyd.
Yes.
Handpicking
Mythical
opponents.
fighters, bruh. Mythical
Bruh.
fighters.
Now I see I'll go see this man, and it makes sense. I watched the highlights of his first fight in the One Championship,
Yeah.
and he just looks like an elite kickboxer.
Yeah.
He knows when to cover the distance and keep you. He knows when to land a low kick. He knows when to jab you. He knows exactly. He has his timings down to perfection, and he knows his length to perfection.
Yeah.
It's just whether opponents can counter him, because he doesn't look like the type of fighter that waits for you to make action. And I hope Jonathan Haggerty is able to study the tape, and as soon as he lands something, Haggerty needs to at least like respond to it and not just let him get ahead in terms of output, because he does look like a very active fighter. But I believe in Jonathan Haggerty's power, and it might just be something that Wei Rui hasn't felt before. And if Haggerty can land like a 1-2 combo there perfectly, it could be lights out, brother. 25 win streak down the drain.
Mythical fighters, ladies and gentlemen, let us know in the comments your thoughts. Is going to be Jonathan Haggerty
Please.
and still, or is it going to be Wei Rui, mythical fighter, ascending to the gods as the new champion of the world? PG, we'll go to some final thoughts on this one from you, then we'll keep moving, please.
I will say this just to counter Babu's argument with Babu's point there is that Jonathan Haggerty's power translates quite heavily when he's fighting in the small ounces, when he's fighting Muay Thai. Because then he's knocking, that's when he knocked Nango out as well. That's when he was beating people. The only person two fighters that he beat kickboxing was Fabricio Andrade and Felipe Lobo, and he dropped both of them. I don't know if that same power translates as often over the bigger gloves. I mean, it's there, you can knock people out with it, but I think it's a little bit more difficult. You can almost take the punches a little bit more because of that extra cushion on the glove. And that just means that Jonathan Haggerty is going to have to be a little bit more strategic in how he lands a shot. If I'm Jonathan Haggerty, I target the body of this dude. Don't look for his head. He's hard to hit. Just target the body, tip him, low kick him. Just take away the lower weapons first. Then you won't have to worry about his hands too much. You can't even throw it anymore. So I think I'm Haggerty there. Just rip the body as much as possible in this fight.
Nice.